We know video is incredibly important to a digital marketing strategy, and we hear from our clients all the time about the challenges in creating video. And it's very easy if you're a dance company, or it's easier if you're a dance company, but video is much more challenging for a lot of organizations that don't have access to actors and assets, and how do you make a symphonic performance interesting on video? So what we did was put together a reel of some of what we thought were the best of arts marketing clips and videos. So we're going to start the presentation today showing some of our favorites across genre, across budget size. We have museums, we have dance, of course, we have theater, all sorts of promotional videos, and then longer form videos. And the point of this is to really inspire you and to really show you what's out there. And then I'm going to come back at the end and talk about some case studies and best practices for video. Sound good? Great. I also want to thank our sponsors from Cinnovative, who actually put this clip together, and one of the videos on it is theirs. So enjoy.
One time I got my car taken. Why'd I lose my car? Because I missed a payment. Why'd I miss a payment? Because I had to pay for a dentist instead. Why'd I have to pay a dentist? Because I didn't have insurance. And I cracked a tooth and ignored it for 6 months until an abscess formed. Why'd I crack a tooth? Because one night I thought I'd skipped in and save a little money. But I got hungry and decided to snack on a piece of candy brittle, and that's all it took. A piece of fucking candy brittle, and I was out of a job again. And you want to tell me about choices? While you sit up here and practically break your arm, patting yourself on the back for all you accomplished. You made some wise choices, but you're wrong if you think everyone has them.
When we dance, I wanna hold you near, and I feel that my time is here. Yeah, you know. Can fly. I believe I can touch the sky. Keep me running through the night and day. Spread my wings and fly away. I believe I can soar. Keep it running through that open door. I believe I can fly. Oh, I believe I can fly. I can fly.
All right. So I hope that inspired you guys. What's amazing about these videos is they really make you feel something. And I think a lot of the times we feel constrained by the ability to be so literal of what we're putting on stage has to be exactly what the show is going to be or the dance is going to be. And I think a lot of these organizations that are really good at this allow it to be much more creative expression and freedom. A couple of things. That New York City Ballet Young Patron Circle, that's not even a dance video, right? Anyone can do that, but they really make you feel something, and you know, there's no dancing there, which I thought is really awesome about it. So this Rethink Ballet video from the Boston Ballet, I just wanted to talk about as a case study, because I've watched that video so many times, and every time I get chills. I mean, when with the timing of Fly, and you see those dancers jumping, it's amazing, and everyone, I heard some small gasps in the audience. It's an amazing, amazing video. So I want to talk about how that video came together and the impact it had on the ballet. So just some practical nuts and bolts. A video like that doesn't come together, you know, it's not like an idea where you're shooting the next day and then you have a great video in a week. It really takes some planning, and the organizations that I think do video really well, there's a big connection between the internal stakeholders in marketing who are managing the video and the relationship with the artistic team. And you know, with dance, it's easier if you have a company and you have the ability to schedule them. I realize there's a lot of constraints across different art forms, but concept to filming took 60 days. Filming to posting took 75 days. And the folks at the ballet, they let me know I could talk about this. That video cost $10,000 to make. And I want to talk about you know, what the results of that $10,000 are, especially when you consider that video versus $10,000 that you would put in a print ad. So this was posted on Facebook, and we put some promotional dollars behind it. This was one case where, you know, I always say Facebook and Google, they want to do two things. They want to make money and they want to be relevant. And so if you have content that's really relevant, that's really sticky, that people are engaging with, it costs less money to promote it, right? In this case, we couldn't keep up with the organic video. Like when you look at that graph of how much is promoted and how much is organic, it was like this much promoted and this much organic. But you look at the stats here, 60,000 shares, 2.6 million views, and this is actually, it's probably grown since then. But the call to action here, we wanted people to watch the video, we wanted people to go to their website, so catch the company in real time. And the sort of context around this video is Boston Ballet, like a lot of ballet companies, is balanced between doing these, you know, storybook ballets that tend to, you know, like a Swan Lake or a Cinderella can sell really well, and Nutcracker sells really well, and that's what their fall looked like. And then in the spring, which was really the winter, amongst the horrible weather last year in Boston, they had their, what we call mission work, right? Like the harder contemporary ballet that is just, you know, it's some new works, and it's much harder to sell. So, you know, instead of just going out there and trying to push this work and buying ads and you know, interrupting a lot of people with works that a lot of people haven't heard of, the idea was to create this video, and got 2.6 million people to watch this video. Friends of mine who I had no idea had cared at all about ballet were like forwarding this to me, or they were posting it on their Facebook walls. I mean, it's just so amazing whether you're a dance lover or not. And when you have a video like this, you know, Mikhail Baryshnikov posts it. So like the kind of shares and the endorsed impressions that they were getting were just outstanding by creating this amazing content. So we wanted, or we believe that the return of a video like this should be measured in permission-based leads, meaning the number of people that are now Facebook fans and the number of people, because the call to action was to drive people to their website, we set up remarketing code, and we can now remarket to all these people who have now raised their hand and say, I care enough about this to come to the website. And now we have, you know, 80,000 additional people in our remarketing pool that we can serve ads to for this contemporary work, and frankly, all the work. I say remarketing, assuming that everyone knows what it is, and I assume many of you do, but I don't want to assume everybody does. So when I mean remarketing, the most basic form is you go to buy a pair of shoes, at Zappos, and then you go to the Huffington Post and that pair of shoes is following you. Then you go to the New York Times and you see that pair of shoes again. That is basic remarketing. But strategic remarketing, I think, is a permission-based strategy where you should be holding on to those leads as long as possible. And all the remarketing we do at Capacity is through Google, and Google has a maximum pixel pool of 540 days. So if you went to the Boston Ballet last spring and you went one of those 8,000 people, as long as you didn't clear your cookies, we can still remarket you. So if you didn't come to the contemporary work last spring, well, guess what? You're going to start seeing ads for Nutcracker. You're going to start seeing ads for different contemporary work because now you're further down the funnel. So when you look at this, the cost per acquisition, the cost per lead, the video cost $10,000, was about 10 cents. And yesterday, Megan from HubSpot was saying the cost per acquiring a new customer through inbound strategies is far cheaper. 10 cents per lead, I think, is an amazing cost for this and totally justifies this investment. This is another case study from Jacob's Pillow Dance. The Pillow is a dance festival in the Berkshires, and we've had the pleasure of working with them we just finished our 3rd season. And this is a post I pulled on Facebook last February. And this was right around the time when Facebook went all in on video. I'll show you some stats, but this is really the year of the video. And YouTube was really the home of video for so long. And Facebook said, you know what? We're going to take on YouTube and we're going to try to be the web's home for hosted videos. Facebook went from serving 1 billion impressions, video impressions per day, to 4 billion. So, within a very short time, I mean, if you go on Facebook, all you see is videos now, right? And so Facebook really, really, really wants you to put your video on Facebook, and will reward it by showing it more. And by Facebook favoring video, it just comes up more often. So if you're an organization, you're posting a picture versus a video, more likely they're going to show your video. So we knew this at this time, or the folks at the Pillow knew this, and so they started posting a ton of video. And this was an organic post, no promotion behind it, reached 90,000 people, 27,000 people watched. This is some rehearsal room footage. Again, the call to action is to drive to the Jacob's Pillow website to build that remarketing pool. And here's what's amazing. The week of that video, with no paid promotion, Jacob's Pillow reached 1 million people organically. Now, this is after a few years of really investing in video, doing really smart promotion, putting money behind the right stuff on Facebook. But this was in February. There were no performances going on. The festival didn't start till that summer. 1 million people. Now, compare that. If they had bought a full-page ad in the New York Times that day for, I don't even know how much that cost, $50,000, $100,000, they only would have reached 680,000 people, get one shot, and it's gone. I hope this slide really puts into perspective the power of having a smart video strategy. So this really gets down to how marketing has shifted. And the old idea was, you're an arts organization, for numbers' sake, say you have $100,000. You'd put $100,000 into buying media, right? You buy your newspaper, you buy your radio, if you have the money, you buy your TV, you sit back and you wait for the tickets to come in and you think about the next show. That was then. Now the idea is really take that $100,000 and split it up differently. A lot of it is about putting the money behind creating content, using that content to get leads, then strategically promoting the right content. So if you have that video, putting money behind it to make sure it's getting a much larger reach on Facebook, on YouTube. You can also show video in your display ads for the square size or square sizes. And then, we're also, like I said this yesterday, we're not in a world where I'm going to say you have to abandon all traditional media. We're not quite there yet, but the remaining money is around buying media. Does that make sense? I love this slide. It's from data from eMarketer, and I think it just puts, really this whole conference into perspective in a way. You look at time spent with media, the newspaper, the sad red declining line on the bottom, followed by the yellow line, which is radio. In 2012, at some point, the amount of screen time surpassed the amount of TV time, and that blue line is just going to keep growing, right? We are addicted to our devices. We are, I said this last year at boot camp. I had this app called Checky, and it tells you how many times you look at your phone in a day. Download it just for fun. I was between 100 and 200 times, right? We're just addicted to these devices. And so I think this really needs to set your priorities when you're thinking about how you're spending your media. And we know from our benchmark study that Tom was sharing yesterday that the majority of arts organizations are still underspending in digital compared to the amount of time that people are spending with it. Some stats about video: 89 million people in the United States are going to watch 1.2 billion unique online videos today. More than half of US users who visit Facebook daily watch at least one video. Who went on Facebook this morning? Who watched a video? Yeah, okay, about half of you. Half of you who went. Performing art ticket buyers watch 5 million YouTube videos every month. That's a stat we got directly from the folks at Google. And more than half of YouTube views and 2/3 of Facebook video views are on a mobile device. And why this is important is because there's that's a personal connection. If you're sitting there on your device watching a video, this is a very sort of intimate connection of, people get nervous when their phones are, across the room from them. There's something very personal about being on somebody's device. It's true. But we think, that's just a really important thing to think about. And then also when you're playing those videos or when you're creating these videos, think about that experience. For example, for Facebook, the video will start without sound, right? So you'll just see it. So think about those first 3 to 5 seconds. If someone's watching it without sound, how are you getting your message across, right? How are you using, watch that first. A lot of organizations will just start with this really boring slide that just shows, their logo. And it's well, no one's going to make it more impactful than that, because realize that a lot of people are going to just watch those first few seconds without sound. And then you put money behind your video to boost the reach. So if you have a great video, and New York City Ballet does a great job in video. Karen Gertie from City Ballet did an amazing presentation at boot camp last year talking about their video strategy. They're really integrated with their artistic department. A former dancer runs their video strategy. But by having this great video, we can turn it into dollar and cents in ticket sales. So they'll post the video on YouTube, and we can promote it. And this is pretty consistent for City Ballet. I'm not saying this is consistent for lots of organizations, but YouTube can really have an amazing ROI if you have if you've dedicated yourself to video. You have a really strong remarketing pool and really engaging video content. And the reason City Ballet does so well on YouTube is they'll put these videos out that will go viral, similar to that Boston Ballet video. I don't know if you guys saw that 9/12 video they did. Google that if you haven't. It was 2 dancers on the day after 9/11 near the World Trade Center, and over 1 million people watched it. And what happened is, if someone watches a video on YouTube, you can make a remarketing pool out of that. And so again, it's the same idea of we're talking about with Boston, but we're speaking to people who now, we took that really viral video, which now had 1 million people in their pixel pool. Then you show a promotional season video, and people buy tickets, and it's measurable directly to that ROI. And when we say YouTube, advertising in YouTube, what that means is those pre-roll videos. And what's amazing about YouTube is you only really pay if someone watches past a certain point with what they have called TrueView. Christopher says he loves YouTube because it's TV you can actually measure, right? With TV, the estimates are always, you're just guessing. But with YouTube, you know exactly how many people watched it and how far they watched it. And also, generally, we see about a quarter of people are watching the video all the way through. But don't think because someone didn't watch your whole video that's not valuable, right? If someone watched it for 10 seconds and you put the right message first, they're just busy. But you could still get the message there, especially if it's targeted at a person who may be in your remarketing pool, and you may, you just want to get them the message about what's on your stage. YouTube videos can also be besides videos, so you can be online watching Grumpy Cat. And if you've been to the City Ballet website, or if someone's a good prospect based on their interest, you can put ads beside video, and also in search results, which can be triggered contextually or behaviorally. And Facebook as well, because Facebook is favoring video, putting your money behind Facebook videos. This is from Barrington Stage. It's a pretty small theater in the Berkshires. This was one of their first video campaigns we worked on with them, but it was a $3,000 media investment, $25,000 in ticket sales for a 737% ROI. You know, Kiss Me Kate, it's a recognizable title. This is a really fun video, but videos can drive a significant ROI on social media. So something we say a lot in our office is the content of your video should be as compelling as the work you put on your stage, right? When the artistic team is involved in video creation, you know, I'm a marketer. I probably don't have I maybe have an idea for a video like that silly 80s workout video we showed yesterday, but I hired my friend who's actually a really artistic person to write it. And you saw Jeff who wrote it and starred in it. It's the same thing with an arts organization. Get your artists engaged if you can in your video strategy, or either hire that person or contract that person who could make really creative videos for you. I don't think the marketing department necessarily, we don't necessarily always have the skills to create the best video. 68% of YouTube users say it is a place to celebrate creativity, which makes it very fertile ground for cultural marketers. And we need to just stop with the talking heads. I almost put a slide of David Byrne up here, but I didn't know if people would know what that is. We have some David Byrne on the boot camp playlist. But, I say that to be a little dramatic. There is a time and a place for a talking head. And the talking head is for someone who may be a little more engaged with you. But the idea of your artistic director standing, sitting in his office talking about how great your season's going to be, that's just not going to do anything for you, right? Maybe for your most engaged patrons, your subscribers, your donors want to hear about that, but I don't think that's going to do a very good job at attracting new audiences to your theater. You need to get that thumb stopper. You need to get the video that people are going to stop and pay attention, and then you can get them to your website, and they can watch the talking head video. So this is from the folks at Google. I like this model for creating YouTube video. Does it inspire? Does it entertain? Does it educate? Ideally, it does all three, but if it doesn't do at least one or really even two, don't produce it, right? Inspire, entertain, educate. And I think you can say yes about this to most of the videos that we showed in the opening reel. So this is the idea of the marketing funnel, where you need video to talk to people at all parts of the marketing funnel, right? The talking head video, or in this case, New York City Ballet's video about the young patrons, that's not going to go to everyone in the world, right? You're not going to put that out there and broadcast that and put that, targeting any dance fan. That's going to be really, if I was going to promote that on Facebook, I would promote that to a CRM list where I would upload the email address of the people we think are good prospects to be a young patron. I would, hyper target, maybe do some, put that as a remarketing pixel for the appropriate pages on the City Ballet website. I would not do any sort of acquisition around that video. But the Goodman videos, those really quick 15-second clips, or the Cinnovative video of Catch Me If You Can, those are really top of funnel promotional videos, and those can go to get new people. So the first step is get people to your website with the video. Then on the production detail page, show the deeper level engagement video if you want to have longer video or even the talking head video. So Google commissioned a study with Ipsos. We shared some results of the study in last year's boot camp, but they surveyed 2,000 live event ticket buyers and asking about how video influences their behavior. 45% say they think more favorably about a show if they've seen a video. 68% say video influences a purchase. No surprise there, right? If I'm going to plop, whatever, $50, $100 down to see a show, what's the first thing I'm going to do? I'm going to try to go to the production detail page and I'm going to watch video because I want to say, am I going to enjoy this? And video can really give a richer insight into what you're going to see. So a lot of companies know this. I was looking around the web, and this is a video for a puncture-resistant insole by SteelFlex. Now, who wants to watch this video? No, I don't. But they know that having this video there increases conversion rate and it increases average order value. In fact, there was this amazing study that was done where they surveyed a bunch of retailers who had video to their site, and they did A/B tests with video and without video, and they found that 88% of these retailers saw an increase in conversion when video was added to the product page, right? Why did that insole company create that video? Because they know this. It's like I went on Amazon and we were looking at like cord management system, and there was like this video of something about keeping my cords organized. It's like, why is there a video here? Because they know this. 50% said the average order value is higher for those that watch videos. And if you have a good Google Analytics setup, which is a good intro to our next session, you can actually track this. You can look at your Google Analytics events, and you can see what is the average order value for people who watch the video and what is the average order value for people who don't. I just dug around a couple of our clients' analytics sites, and actually for 2/3 the ones they looked at, the average order value was higher for people who watched the video. So, in summary, video consumption is massive and growing. A new way to think about your budget is create content, promote that content, buy media. Put money behind your video production. That's the sponsored promotion. The content of your video must be compelling as the work you put on your stages. Create videos for people in different parts of the marketing funnel. Ask, does it inspire, does it entertain, does it inform? Online video influences behavior, and more video equals higher conversion rates and higher average order value. Thank you.